Yo, what is up, my fallopian tubers? Cesario from the barrio coming back at you with another video for your butt. That's right, kids. I said for your butt. Gonna make a video response for Dustin and Blake, who wants to see who your 10 favorite players are of your favorite team. All right, so show a card. This is the card community. Normally that's what we do. We show cards of your 10 favorite players on your favorite team. Now, I vaped a little bit on the last video and people were asking me if I picked that up, and like, no, I just happen to have a disposable one. Once it's gone, I'm throwing it away. But kids, don't vape. It gives you gas. All day, dude, I just been farting with the vape. So kids, unless you want to be known as a farter, don't vape. All right, so first card I want to show is Vince Scully. You know what? Let's take his bikini off and show him in his birthday suit. There we go. Look at that. So shiny. Man, Vince Scully pretty much gave his life to the Dodgers, and many people don't know that he was a Giants fan. Before he started working for the Dodgers. I think he went to a Dodgers and Giants game, and the Dodgers were beating the Giants. And he said, I always liked the underdog. So he was a Giants fan because he wanted them to beat the Dodgers. Then he ended up working his whole life for the Dodgers. And he was also the man behind the call, Hank Aaron's home run. He's the guy who called Hank Aaron's home run when he broke Babe Ruth's record. All right. And another card. Now, this is not a player, so I haven't started my players. It is Tommy Lasorda. Man, sweet Tommy. I remember when I first discovered YouTube, I used to watch a video of Tommy Lasorda. He's one of the best ranters. Throws, awesome dude. Like, he gets into it. He has corazón, eh? He has corazón. And he bled Dodger blue. But one time, he was on the mound, and Ron Say, was out there, and he was like telling them, "Hey, maybe we should do." And that Tommy, I remember Tommy just like, "Get the F out of here!" Like, hey, I'm the manager, But I never saw that rant again. I remember I couldn't find it after that. YouTube was a little bit different back then. I remember even one of my old bosses, Chad Kruger, there was a video of him choking out a Cubs fan. At a game in Chicago, he jumped into the crowd and started choking him when he pitched for the Dodgers, or he was a catcher for the Dodgers. And yeah, so one of my coworkers, after we were watching that video, like when he seen him, he told him, hey, something, referenced it, and he was like, oh, pissed. He's like, where'd you see that? And we told him on YouTube, and about a month later, it seemed like it disappeared. So there's a lot of things that disappeared that used to be on there that aren't there anymore, and the next card I got is, guess who it is? I'll give you a hint. Who do you think it is? Roy Campanella in this 53 Bowman color. But check it out, it was $9 and I got it for $4.50, man. But Roy Campanella, I have his bobblehead always displayed out here. And let me show you the card that I have up with the bobblehead is this one. If you guys don't know, he had a car accident. He became paralyzed, and his career wasn't done. He could have done so much more. But, yeah, if you guys have ever seen that picture of the Coliseum, like, a long time ago with all the lighters all the way around the stadium. Like, that was like one of the first time that's ever been done. They do it at concerts all the time. Now people use their light. But that was like one of the first times I ever where the masses saw that. The whole Coliseum was lit by lighters. Everybody carried a lighter back then. I don't think too many people carry one now. And the next card I'm going to show. So I think I pretty much got these in order. That was a 53 and I got a 54. Of Jackie Robinson, graded in Puerto Rico. Oh, man, sweet card. Jackie Robinson needs, don't need to tell you guys. He started, he broke the color barrier. And actually, this jersey that I have is, this was worn by Milton Bradley of the Dodgers. And he started getting in trouble a lot. And then they told him like something like, "How did you pick number 21?" He's because I'm half the man that Jackie Robinson was, and Jackie Robinson wore 42, so he wore 21. This was actually his jersey that he wore, Milton Bradley. Next, one of Jackie Robinson's biggest supporter in this 54 Bowman, Pee Wee Reese. Sweet Pee Wee Reese, real name Harold. One of his most iconic baseball cards that I really need to get. I had a chance to get it last time and I missed out. Now the prices went skyrocket. I have another card of Pee Wee Reese. Oh no, this is Gil Hodges. Another guy who deserved to be on my list, Gil Hodges there. But Pee Wee Reese, known for that picture when he's up in the air about to throw it. That's one of the greatest baseball cards ever. I don't care what anybody says. And center fielder, Duke Snider. Look at the blue skies in those, just like the 51 Bowman mantle. The Bowman, they seem to take pictures of, because almost every other company, you prominently see the stadium, like it's a eye-level photo. And it seems like Bowman used to take a picture from lower and go higher, because they always caught the beautiful sky. But there you go, the Duke Snider, the Duke of Flatbush, and you guys know who had the most home runs in the 1950s for the decade of the 50s? Is it decade? Decade's 100? I'm confused. Oh, for the best decade, the 50s. Guess who hit the most home runs? I'll give you a clue. Can you guess who? Duke Snider. Hit more home runs than anybody else in the 50s. More than Willie Mays, more than Mickey Mantle, more than anybody. No matter how many names I name off, none of them are ever going to be it. All right. And then we got Sandy Koufax. One of my favorite cards that I have. This is where I started doing the boom! There's the flavor! Is licking my Sandy Koufax. That's how I grade cards. I can tell you if it's authentic by licking it. So anybody who wants to send in some cards for me to tell you if they're authentic, I'll lick it for you and I'll let you know. But Sandy Koufax arguably had like best 5 seasons like ever in baseball, like 5 years, put together 5 years, But yeah, Sandy Koufax. And if anybody wonders where I started that boom, I've been doing that boom when I would pull a hit, forever. And I got that from a movie called Hot Rod. The guy takes a shot of what is it? It's a Dr. Pepper and something else, so whatever that shot is, but he drinks it, and when he slams it down, he's like, boom! There's the flavor. So that's where I got that from Hot Rod. You should check that out. Boom, there's the flavor. That's where I got that licking my cards and that saying from. And then right behind him, the 58 tops. 54. This is out of order. No, it's a 58. And this guy was one of the toughest son of a bitches that ever played. Everybody was scared of him. He was like the first pitcher that would scare you. One time he hit Brooks Robinson on purpose. Not Brooks Robinson. I think it was Willie McCovey. Willie McCovey or Brooks Robinson, but he hit him on purpose. And it was like blatantly obvious they hit him on purpose. And then when they asked him after the game or whatever, like, hey, did you throw at Willie McCovey on purpose? And he said, my manager told me to hit him, to throw at him. No, told me to walk him. Sorry, I messed that story up, man. I don't do retakes. But told him to walk him. He told him to walk Willie McCovey. So he just threw at him to put him on base. He told the reporters, why waste 4 pitches? That was his answer. But yeah, believe it or not, Mickey Mantle like said in an interview once when he was with Willie Mays and Duke Snyder, they were having an interview, and they were both talking. They were talking about both of these guys. Like Mickey Mantle was said like Don Drell, these are like the two toughest pitchers he's ever faced. And he says Don Drell would scare you, like he knew he would throw at you, and you're scared to go up there because he threw so hard and he was so big. And he said his Sandy Koufax could have been a lot better pitcher if he was a little bit like more Don Drell's, like a little scary. With as good as he was being the nice guy, you say he would have been 10 times better being a pitcher that put fear in your heart. And speaking of Mickey Mantle, and one of the books that I read, I remember he talking about how he bunted against Don Drysdale and he got on base. And Don Drysdale walked up to him, put his cleat on his foot, and mashed it in. And I forgot, man. The vape gives me gas. Sorry. And he told him, "Don't you ever bunt on me again." And then Mickey Mantle just said, "Yes, sir." You're like, whoa. All right. So next, I got Steve Garvey. Oh man, that gas is really kicking in now. Steve Garvey, man, we used to call him Popeye. He has these huge farms. Steve Garvey, you didn't know, he used to be a bat boy for the Dodgers in his younger years. One of my favorite players growing up. So a lot of these players now I'm getting to are going to be players that I've seen before that were like my favorite players growing up. So they still have a big place in here. But Steve Garvey, Popeye, he played for us for a long time. Then he got traded to the Padres. But he worked with the Dodgers a lot. And he used to always be at USC. And I got to talk to him a few times. And then next, I got Pedro Guerrero. Pedro is one of my favorite players. Wow, one of the things I remember a lot was when he had the home run streak going for the most home runs. I think it was in the month of June. It had to be June because it was by my birthday, and I wanted to go to a baseball game on my birthday. That's what I asked for when I was a kid, because I wanted to see Pedro Guerrero during that streak of hitting the most home runs in the month of June, I believe it was. And he hit one. Like, he hit one, when I went to the game. So it was like one of the greatest birthday gifts ever. You know what I mean? But Pedro Guerrero. And I had this card. This was probably the only vintage card, if you want to call it vintage, that I had as a kid. I remember getting the money somehow, and I bought this card at a card show at a mall. When back then there was a million. Every mall had a card show. And there was a mall in every city. A couple cities at least. And I had this card, and I remember some old man, a dealer, asked me to look through if he could look through my cards, and he looked through them. And all I remember is that when I went home, that card wasn't in the pile anymore. And I remember, like, it took all my money. It was like, took me a lot to buy that card. But what are you gonna do? And next, Fernando Mania. Fernando Mania was crazy when I was a kid. It was just insane. This guy had like one of the best rookie runs, one of the best starts in baseball. He couldn't keep it going his whole career, but also had one of the greatest couple years ever. The screwball guy, famous for throwing the screwball. El Toro, Fernando Valenzuela. All right. And then next, we got this card that I was almost going to throw Kershaw in here, but this guy's, deserves to be on my list too. But I love this card. Look at that. It's so shiny. Look at those glasses, dude. Oh, I got to put my shades on. It's too much UV ray light. Bright light, bright light, bright light, bright light. All right, got my Elton Johns on to protect me from. Look at that shine. I can't. It doesn't look as great on camera as it does in person, but let me tell you, it is so shiny. Man, that just luckily these Elton Johns are protect me from UV rays, because this card lights up a room. it gives off so much UV rays that you got to keep this in a box in a closet, or else it'll fade your other cards from UV exposure. But look at that! Look at that shine. One of my favorite cards. Like, the way it shines off the glasses, that is stupendous, tremendous. But yeah, this Oral Hershiser arguably had the best month as of a pitcher in baseball, because for the whole month he never gave up a run, and he stayed in the rotation, and they threw shutouts. He completed games. You know, he won the in 1988. He won the Cy Young. He won the MVP for the NLCS and for the World Series. He had one of the greatest end of the year performances like ever. All right, ever. Same thing. It didn't last like, you know, for his whole career, but had, man, I lived through it. Like, I lived through that. You're watching him break that record. You know, he's your team. He's your ace. And his nickname was the Bulldog. That Tommy Lasorda one day like told him like, hey, you know, you look like a librarian out there. He's like, I want you to be tough. You could be a bulldog. Like, give him, nicknamed him Bulldog. And then 88 was also helped by the fact that Kirk Gibson was on the team. And Kirk Gibson, like, I guess, like, at the beginning of the season, Oral wasn't throwing as inside as Tommy wanted, you know, in on the pitchers. And while Tommy was telling them, hey, you gotta be, don't be afraid. You gotta, you know, let these guys be afraid of you. And then Kirk Gibson told him, hey, he's if you hit somebody and they charge the mound, you run to left field where I'm at, and I'll kick his ass. So, you know, which I'm sure a lot of people tell their pitchers that, but that, I think, helped Oral Hershiser, gave him that confidence to throw in and be the Bulldog, you know. But yeah, man, that's it. That's my 10 players. And, you know, sorry, I'm gonna have to have someone that I could bring in clutch situations. You know what I mean? Like, if the game was on the line, we can't give up this run. We can't give up a single. We need the top of the line first baseman. So I got him on the bench because nothing gets through his legs. All right, this will be my defensive replacement if I need somebody clutch on first base on defense. All right, so love the hobby, people. Oh, that gas, man. All right, but anyways, love the hobby, people. And just keep collecting baseball cards forever, I say. Ciao. Who remembers that video I made like 5 years ago where I used the Snapchat app to become Sandy Koufax? Let's see if that still works. Check it out, eh? I'm Sandy Koufax, eh? I'm Sandy Koufax. And if I need a clutch hitter, I'm going to throw in the grandson of Mickey Mantle, Pepino Mantle. Hey, one can dream. So shiny! So shiny, literally. So shiny. Oh, and if I need a pinch runner, Benny the Jet Rodriguez with his PF Flyers. And we'll be sponsored by Squirt. And we'll sell milk duds. Bright light, bright light. Oh, I gotta go put Gizmo away, guys. I gotta feed him before midnight. All right. So love the hobby. Just keep collecting baseball cards forever, I say. Ciao. Oh, damn, babe. Ah! Hey, bro. You mad I took you out and put Oral Hershiser in?